people think of cities as so polluted and not sustainable when they're so much more sustainable than urban sprawl because everything is really dense, everything's really close together, we share services.
We see New York as a globally significant urban center, whether in culture or the media or finance and business, and it can be a leader in demonstrating how big, complex urban systems can be energy efficient and environmentally sustainable. For us, it's about maintaining and promoting our values and trying to find new ways to demonstrate them in everything that we do.
There's something powerful about, as an organization, yourself acting differently in a way that's perfectly aligned with the ideals that you're trying to promote.
It's an opportunity, one, to save money, but two, to totally change the environment of the entire building that we're working in.
The openness of the space not only represents transparency, which it most obviously does as you look around here, but also inclusiveness.
They value the staff and the space in which they work on a day-to-day basis for long hours should be very livable and high quality and encourage high performance.
They really wanted to align what they do with their new space and basically live and work in a space that reflected their missions and goals. While the LEED process was new to Rockefeller, as a general rule, sustainability wasn't.
For LEED, you go through a very rigorous application and eligibility process where you really have to perform and present that you have made a huge commitment to sustainable practices.
The goal in sustainability is to make it part of everybody's every day.
They wanted to be a lot more collaborative and open and having it be more democratic.
When we started talking about democracy and trying to have a more democratic and less hierarchical culture, that's how they got to the notion of let's put enclosed offices in the core with glass fronts and let's make the outer space along these beautiful views that we have through these windows more democratic, more open to everybody.
We tried to bring everyone as close to the natural daylight as possible because we really wanted to think about how we could maximize daylight and minimize electricity in general.
One of the most subtle things that people probably won't realize is the daylighting system. The lights that are on the perimeter, if it's a brighter day outside, they'll automatically dim.
The positive aspects of the space is the natural daylight comes in. Studies show that if more daylight coming in, it's a healthier work environment.
And it's about having control over your space, so if you're not using the space, you can turn it off. There's also occupancy sensors in the offices and conference rooms, so if nobody's in there, the lights aren't on.
RBF doesn't pay its electric bill directly, it pays it as a portion of the entire building. Understanding that improving the building's electric bill was worth the extra investment.
People will see that we are really working hard to find ways to pursue our mission across the board.
Everyone spends most of their time in their office, and you want that place to be sustainable in that it's got low VOCs. We actually had to do an air test, and we passed with flying colors, essentially because all the materials here were low VOCs. From the paints to the woodwork to the finishing materials on the woodwork, even the furniture, the carpet, everything here is low VOCs. And then there's things that overlap. So the carpet applies to the low VOCs, but it's also got a high recycled content.
One of the things that will be an important part of this story is to demonstrate that you can achieve a very high level of environmental responsibility in construction and in a way that is really cost effective.
Transporting materials is one of the things that affects the environment the most. So all of our gypboard came from a local plant. We have stone surfaces on the project that look like terrazzo, and they're actually made out of recycled material, and they're even made locally here in Brooklyn. We got our slate, that is the flooring in the reception and the boardroom. We got that from Vermont. We used bamboo for the finishes on some of the wood ceilings that are here, and we also used the solid bamboo panels for the faces of our cabinetry in the conference rooms and in the cafe.
We've worked very hard to use materials that are either recycled or made from rapidly renewable resources.
A lot of the things that we used in this space are older. We brought with us a lot of furniture that we reused.
The underlying theme of the space for design was classic modern, but we wanted to connect back to our history.
We stumbled upon these doors and they just immediately struck us.
Those doors that are covered with dirt, debris, and everything else over the years, we think we can salvage them.
Inquired about where they came from, and it turned out that they were actually the doors that were on the carriage house, which is now their conference center.
And we think they'd be a fabulous entry.
A lot about sustainability is it's not difficult, it's just paying a little bit more attention to things. The majority of the wood products in this space are certified by the Forest Stewardship Council. That means they're very sustainable, and you can't tell by looking at them that they're any different from regular wood products.
I see the office space as a fantastic reinforcer of what we're trying to accomplish as an organization, both in terms of our mission and in terms of the style of culture.
I think the surprise is really coming off the elevator and just immediately seeing the river. You don't really expect that in this type of old building that's so closed. You don't really anticipate it being so open when you get here.
The Interchurch Center is actually moving very far along the sustainability trail. One of the things they've done in the past few years is upgraded core toilets to be low-flow fixtures and hands-free fixtures that conserves water. The perimeter induction units cool 12 to 15 feet in from the perimeter. When we reviewed it with RBF, they understood that would be one of the benefits of going with this all-interior office layout.
All of these things can help inspire others to take this kind of work to the next level. That's all about continuously trying to get better and better in these things and to look for ways of innovation and deeper impact. And I think this can help in that regard.